Hi, this is Lucia with The Art of Love. I'm a dating and relationship expert specializing in helping you get your ex back. Welcome back, No Contact Army. Have you been a good little soldier and have you stayed in no contact? And if you too would like to enlist in the No Contact Army, all you have to do is hit the subscribe button. And if you would like to read the No Contact Army manual, go to nocontactsecrets.com where you can download 2 free chapters before you purchase it. Today I want to talk about the number one mistake people make when they get back with their ex. And I have an email here from a woman. I actually have several emails, and we're going to go through them, and I'm going to point out what she could have done different and what that mistake is. So let's get started. Okay, she says, I recently discovered your videos and was watching many of them. I'm feeling better after watching. I'm in my 50s. I met a wonderful guy. We dated for 4 months. No problems, no arguments, all was good. And then boom, he sat down with me and said, I've been uncomfortable for a while with all this between us. I don't want to be a couple. I don't want to be someone's boyfriend. I don't want a relationship. Now, if a guy says that, unless he's recently divorced or out of a relationship, what that usually means is they don't want to be your boyfriend. They don't want to be in a relationship with you. Because if you were their dream girl, trust me, they would want to be in a relationship. Okay, she says, I didn't beg, I was numb. He called after 10 days of no contact to just talk. Nothing specific, just to chat to see how I'm doing. He probably felt guilty. I didn't ask any questions. I wasn't upset. I ended the conversation first, very politely. He said, stay in touch. It's been 2 weeks since the phone call and 3 weeks since the breakup. Do I have a chance to get him back? I really, really like him, and I thought how lucky I was to meet him. And there is the crux of the problem. Why are you lucky to meet him? Why isn't he lucky to meet you? You have him on a pedestal. And when you have someone on a pedestal, they're looking down at you. You're not at the same level, and they feel it. And people feel uneasy being with someone who's worshiping them, unless they're a narcissist and they want to be worshipped. But for the rest of us, we feel uncomfortable being worshipped. Even if someone is a celebrity or royalty, they just want a real one-on-one relationship. They don't want to be worshipped. She goes on to say, I'm doing no contact, watching your videos. I'm heartbroken. I cry a lot. So that was actually, she wrote to me that 2.5 months ago. Now, I get a lot of emails, a lot of questions, and we wrote back and said, Lucia gets a lot of emails. She may respond to yours, she may not. But to be sure that you get an answer, you can always sign up for coaching. Did she sign up for coaching? No. So I wasn't able to answer that email. And she didn't sign up for coaching. So then she wrote to me about 7 weeks after that initial email. And she said, my ex contacted me after 1 month of silence. So I guess after she wrote that email, when he told her to stay in touch, he didn't stay in touch. And so there was 1 month of silence. I followed your no contact rule. We see each other once in 2 weeks. We went on, I think she meant we've seen each other once in 2 weeks. We went on a long weekend to San Diego. Everything was perfect. We did not talk about the past situation, aka the breakup, present or future. Not good. Not good. He can go 2 to 3 days with no contact and then ask me to go out. Then silence again. I'm exhausted. What can I do? I love him. Okay. So again, we said, Lucia gets a lot of emails. She may not be able to answer yours. You can always sign up for coaching. Did she sign up for coaching? No. Okay. So 3 weeks later, another email. And it's very similar to the other one, but there's a bit more information here, so I'm gonna read it anyway. Okay, I was dating a guy for 7 months, and I was falling for him. I brought the relationship talk up first after 4 months of hot and heavy dating. I asked what he thinks about us and where it's going. Bad move. Same day he broke up with me, explaining he doesn't want a title, doesn't want to be a couple. So if you've been watching all my videos, then you would know that at some point in several videos, actually, I said your only job when you start dating someone is to raise their interest level. And if you raise it high enough, if you raise it above 90, then they can't control what they say and they can't control what they do, and you can get whatever you want. You wouldn't have had to ask for a title. You wouldn't have had to have a talk. He would have just claimed you, because guys are territorial and they're possessive, and they don't want to think of you being with someone else and possibly losing you. And so if they're interested, they will make a move sooner rather than later. But you did the typical female thing of thinking, I gotta ask, where's this going? And guess what? If you have to ask where it's going, then it's not going anywhere. And then she said, he broke my heart. No, girl, he did not break your heart. You broke your own heart. You played yourself. And this isn't about being on the side of the guy. I'm not on the side of guys. I'm not on the side of girls. I'm on the side of what's effective in order to get to your goal. This was not the way to go about it. Now, I didn't have a chance to talk with her, obviously, but I'm willing to bet anything that she was not dating other guys while she was dating him. She met him, she felt lucky to meet him, and that was it. She was not going to see anybody else. And that's a deadly mistake, because you get too focused, too laser focused. It's I want him. And if he's not ready, if he's not that interested, he feels the pressure, and then you ask for a title and he breaks up with you. So until someone says that they want to be exclusive with you, you date other guys. Doesn't mean you have to sleep with them, but you have to have other guys in the picture so you're not laser focused on one guy. Many women don't want to do this. They say, oh, I can't date more than one guy if I have a feeling for the one guy, and they end up playing themselves. You're supposed to date more than one person unless you're exclusive. It's called a pair and a spare. That's right, 3 people. And if you can't find 3, okay, fine. At least 2. A friend of mine, she was dating 2 different guys, and she said, you know what? Whichever guy treats me the best, that's who I'm going to be with. One guy was putting a lot of effort in, the other guy not so much. And the guy who was putting a lot of effort in, he took her to Bora Bora for her birthday, and that's who she ended up with. So she wasn't trying to be with any of the guys. She said, okay, we'll see who treats me the best. And she's beautiful. She's a 10. She's gorgeous. So it's not about looks. So you can't just attach yourself to one person just because you have feelings for them, because you're supposed to be raising their interest level. But in this case, she raised her interest level above 90, and she ended up playing herself. So she said, okay, so he started texting again a month later. We went to dinner, took a short trip to Sedona for his birthday. We now see each other once a week or not. We did not talk about the breakup. We don't talk about where we are now. And of course, we don't talk about the future. I'm afraid to bring the subject up, remembering what happened before. Yeah, when he broke up with her. So the parallel to this would be that you're working somewhere and you love it there, but you're only a part-time employee, and you've been there for 4 months, and you're like, wow, I love this job. And you tell your boss, I love this job. It's a great job. I love this job. And then you say to your boss, well, can I be a full-time employee? And he says, you're fired. You're like, what? So you slink away, you're fired. And then a month later, your boss calls you up. Hey, how you doing? La, 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 la. Come back, come back. And so you go back thinking, all right, maybe now I'll be a full-time employee, only to find out that not only are you not a full-time employee, you're not even a part-time employee. You are now an intern. You've been demoted. That's right. So now she doesn't even know if she's going to see him. She sees him whenever he contacts her. It sounds like she's seeing him a lot less. And of course, yeah, she's afraid to bring it up because he might break up with her again. So I don't know what the problem is, why he didn't want to be in a relationship, because if you're in your 50s, I'm assuming he is too. And so how the heck is she going to get out of this? Well, I think there's only one solution. So what I suggest is that when you are in person, sitting next to him, not across, because it's going to come across as too confrontational. Your words are going to be confrontational enough. You need to be beside him. And very innocently, you're going to say, so I just want to clarify, we're not in an exclusive relationship, right? And then he'll look at you like, what the heck is she talking about? And he'll say, yeah, right. Yeah, we're not in an exclusive relationship. You go, oh, okay, good. So that means that we can date other people, right? And he'll wonder what the heck you're talking about. And he'll say, yeah, we can date other people. And then you'll just smile and say, okay. And he may or may not ask why you're asking that. If he doesn't ask, fine, no problem. Do not volunteer information. If he does ask, you're just going to say, well, there's this guy, he's been asking me out, just this guy. Say it like that. Like you don't really want to discuss this guy. So what we want to do is put him in a sexually competitive state. Because even though you may not be his, he may not have claimed you, he may not want someone else to touch his toy. Guys see you as a possession and they don't want someone to touch their woman, even if you're not really his woman. Okay? And then the next time he asks you out, you're not going to be available. Oh, sorry, I can't make it tonight. So we want him to wonder what's going on. At this point, I think that is your only bet. There's no way that you can bring this up again, because you just may get demoted again. You may get fired again. So try this and see what happens. But, I understand not everyone can do coaching, but if she had done coaching 2.5 months ago, when she originally spoke with me, I would have told her how to handle the situation when he came back. Because now, to tell you what the topic of the video is, the mistake people make is that there was an issue and they don't bother to address the issue when the ex comes back. Now, this is different in the sense that they weren't in a committed relationship, so it's not really an ex, it's someone that she was dating. But real exes make the same mistake. They just kind of sweep everything under the rug. They're just so happy to be back together with their ex that they don't want to cause any waves, and they're not going to talk about what caused the problem. And now she's walking on eggshells wondering what to do. So you do not get back with someone until you deal with the issue that led to the breakup. Otherwise, guess what? You haven't solved anything, and it's going to rear its ugly head again, and it's probably going to lead to another breakup, because what is she going to do now? I mean, hopefully she'll take my advice. But if she had already done this and spoken with me, then she would have known not to get back with him. She would have stuck to her guns and said, well, I want to be in a committed relationship, and if you can't offer that right now, then I won't be able to see you anymore. And then he would have had to decide whether he wanted to see her or not. So please do not make the same mistake. Don't just be so happy to get back with someone that you don't bother to discuss the issues, because they're not going to just magically go away if you sweep them under the rug. So if you would like my help with your situation so you don't get yourself in a mess, You can find out about private coaching at my website, theartoflove.net. The direct link is below. If you are listening on YouTube, remember to like, subscribe, and share. If you're listening on iTunes or some other podcast, I would appreciate if you would rate and review the podcast. And finally, remember that love inspires, empowers, uplifts, and enlightens.